Yeah, sure. I'm not sure how many of you here know that there's something called block size with any kind of blockchains. It started off on 1 MB limit on Bitcoin, uh, but that was supposed to be a temporary limit, which was supposed to prevent spam at that time because the transactions were initially free. Like you didn't have to pay any transaction fees before, so you could basically just spam the network and clog it up. You could cause congestion, so nobody else could actually use the network. So that is why like a 1 MB limit was initially introduced. And later on, as the fees started to grow, well, first of all, there was introduction of low fees in order to again combat the spam. But then the idea that Satoshi introduced was to actually to lift off that 1 MB and start increasing it slowly. But that never happened, as we saw. Some people had the incentive to keep that 1 MB on to congest the network so they could offer them other solutions and charge them for it. But on Bitcoin Cash, of course, after the fork, it was completely not removed, but it was increased to 8 MB and then subsequently to 32 MB. Um, but there's always a question as to what is the right block size because it completely depends on the number of transactions. So yeah, there is a new solution that's been proposed and that's being worked on, which is actually adaptable block size. So there's a very complex algorithm that the developers of Bitcoin Cash have been working on, which kind of determines what the average block size should be based on the economic activity that's going to take place on the blockchain. So as the number of transactions organically grow on the blockchain, even the block size limit will start to kind of grow. But then it also kind of uh, encompasses the limits for any spam attack that might take place. So if the blockchain kind of gets spammed, the algorithm kind of detects that okay, this is a spam and we shouldn't be increasing just because there's a lot of transactions coming in, and it does prevent a huge number of transactions coming in at once. So of course it's more complex than that mathematically, but yeah, the idea is that the Bitcoin Cash would be one of the first, at least UTXO based chains that will have a very dynamic block size that will increase as the number of activity on the blockchain increases. This kind of adds to the scalability of Bitcoin Cash and not needing layer two or layer three solutions for the blockchain.